Welcome back. It's time for another monthly edition of the Rogers Capital Market Commentary, where we attempt to be the antidote to water cooler wisdom. Discussed last month what expectations should be for historical volatility and bull markets, what those look like. Remember sell in May and go away? How that was wrong 9 out of the last 10 times. Well, make it 10 out of the last 11 times. Huge May, a big 5% growth last month. But more important than that is kind of the historical suggestion of big months. 4% gains or more typically lead to continued growth and good times. Historically, 4% or more in a month means that the market is higher a year later 81% of the time. And the average growth on that year later is 12%. So not too bad. While much of what we saw last month was a rebound from the pullback that we had in April, markets have zeroed in on each data release that the feds have released to us to kind of digest or assess the possibility of 2024 rate cuts by the Fed, other than just what has kind of been telegraphed to us as a September rate cut. Fed funds futures rates, in fact, have begun to process or the increasing odds for additional easing toward the end of this year. The Fed Chair Powell continues to reiterate his rationale for assessing additional cuts sooner rather than later based on labor market deterioration. If the path of disinflation quickens, then the Fed appears amenable to beginning the rate cutting cycle, the rate easing cycle. Domestic economy appears to be late cycle, and recent data suggests that the consumer has slowed. Labor is slowing, which will eventually ease inflation pressures. I think you're already seeing some of that. But that gives the Fed the leeway to go ahead and cut rates. Slower payroll growth, fewer hours worked imply that the economy will slow at a measured pace, a reasonable pace, which is good. Credit markets do not appear to be worried, and so that makes major slowdown or recession unlikely. Stocks are enjoying several tailwinds. Number one, the U.S. and in fact the global economy will likely continue to grow. Number two, rates are coming down as labor markets and renewed rate cut hopes take effect. Third, what moves markets? Profits. Earnings are continuing at a solid pace, and they're likely to continue throughout the rest of this year and even into 2025. And then fourth, here's an election year tidbit for you. During election years, June, July, and August are the best months, the strongest months. Now, geopolitical issues are unlikely to stop what seems to be strong corporate America, earnings from corporate America continuing to put up good numbers. Though we're going to have to watch this tariff issue, the current administration, and maybe if we have a change with the next administration. The tariff situation is a little bit of a question mark. But Now, pullbacks will come, but corrections, remember pullbacks a 5% dip or pullback, corrections being a 10% plus pullback or drop. They are almost always driven or led by deteriorating corporate profits. See 2008, 2015, 2020, 2022, and we just don't see that right now. Speculation surrounding post-election policy is going to be something to watch. Changes in that policy based on who wins the election. Taxes are likely to rise regardless of who wins the election. The Trump tax cuts they're just likely to expire in 2025, no matter who wins. But narrow majorities in Congress, solid corporate fundamentals make pullbacks and make a correction unlikely, and pullbacks should be muted. Well, good start to our summer. Hope you have a great June, and as things warm up, hope you're able to get outside and enjoy your family and some travel, and we'll talk to you next month.